Hello everyone, it's David Hayden and Daisy, and we're back up at Pingree Park. And it's starting to snow. It couldn't get any better than this. Today is February 25th, 2025, and we are here to try out the new wood stove and the 850 XD hot tent. This is gonna be good.
So Daisy and I are scouting out places to set up the 850. I think this spot has the Daisy seal of approval. Yep, it's official. We're staying here. Yep, I think this is gonna be it, Daisy. We got these beautiful trees surrounding us, kind of blocking the wind. Right behind us is a creek. Let's take a look at that. Oh yeah, Daisy. This is gonna be good. You gonna get you a drink of that water? No? Okay, let's break out this tent. Okay, Daisy. The Outbreak 850 XD. Oh, wow. I want you to take a look at this. 7 to 9 person capacity. It's just going to be me and you. This thing's still brand new in the box. Let's open it up. Well, this is the first look. Daisy, check it out. Surprisingly, it went up a lot easier than I thought it would. Wow. That is a tent. Now I gotta stake it down. And I brought the Ryobi and the stake tool. They're gonna make it easy. Let me get it staked down because the wind is blowing. Now I got it staked down. There's some straps over there that I can stake to the ground too and hold the walls out a little more if I need to. I'll do that in a minute. But I just want to go ahead and take a peek in it now that I got it set up. Ooh, Daisy's going to be the first to go in. Oh, that's a good sign. Daisy, look at the size of this tent. Oh my goodness. You know, our 450 was only half this size. We got twice as much room now. This ain't a tent. This is a Holiday Inn. Okay, so I still got a little more setting up to do. This thing brand spanking new. Open up the windows and still got the protective paper in place. Ooh, I think I'm gonna use this front door as our living area, this first tent. And that back tent is where the wood stove is going to be. Probably, I've got the back door open, just so you can kind of see what we're looking at back behind us. And I think I'm just going to put the stove pipe right out that window. So it's time to get the wood stove, the stove pipe blanket, and put it in place and see if it's going to work. All right, is this showing up, Dave? It is snowing, Daisy. Maybe against the black of the door. I don't know. It is coming down a little bit. The forecast said it would. It also said tonight's low is going to be about 14 degrees. Ooh, man. We haven't put the wood stove in yet, but we have been getting ready. Let me show you what I've got so far. As you know, the Eskimo is designed to be an ice fishing tent, so it does not have a floor. So I put these moving blankets down and there's two of them, and it pretty much fills up the whole tent. I mean, there's a few gaps, like right here at the door, but you know what? I'm not concerned about that. I got a big area to walk around in. We got I got my cot and my sleeping bag. I got Daisy's bed and her blanket. We got the table with the jackery. Ooh, this jackery is charged up to 100%. Can you see that? Because the jackery light is in the way. Wait a minute. Let me turn that on. You know, Daisy's scared of the dark. So when it gets to be nighttime, we got 3 different light settings. We can turn on the light. Ooh, life is good. And of course, the primary purpose for the jackery is to run the Alpicool, the little mini refrigerator, because I'm about to put something in it. I want to keep it cold. But look at this. The wood stove window. My goodness, I thought that all of these windows would be the same, but it fits better in here than it did the 450. So I'm about to go get the wood stove and set it up right in this area where my feet are. You see my imitation Crocs. And run that pipe out this window. Oh man, we're gonna close that back door and see what happens. So I actually noticed when I was putting the moving blankets down from my floor, and then again when I was putting the stovepipe window in, I noticed this. It's kind of like dirty over here, and in spots. It's got a couple of dirt spots on it. So I'm kind of wondering if they sent me a used tent. This thing's got dirt on it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I did it unpacking it. I don't really know how. But if it is a used tent, I'm actually glad of it. My 450, when it was brand new, these rods that pops the tent out like an umbrella, are all connected by this hub, and this metal plate holds them together. And it's only attached by this one little nut and a screw on the inside. Well, my brand new 450, right out of the box, one of the hubs, the nut came off of it, the flat plate popped off, the rod shot through it, and I was on the outside and didn't know it, pulling on it, and I broke one of the rods just clean in half. It took about 2 months. I'm not complaining, but it took about 2 months for me to get a replacement. So my very, very first hot tent experience was delayed by 2 months because of a defect. So if this is a used one, I'm glad to know it. That means somebody's tried it out and all of these hubs are okay. But just in case, I brought my little tool kit with me. I'm gonna go around and make sure all these nuts are in good shape, because I don't want to have to go through that again. Okay, Daisy, the shakedown cruise of the 850 is coming along. I got the wood stove set up on these logs because I had to elevate it some to get the stovepipe to go out the window. You know, I had to do that with my other stove, my old stove, and I always wondered if I built a box, however high that is, up off the ground, if that would work for me every time. But then I got to thinking, well, it probably won't. That's only if the ground is unlevel and the ground is the same height. So I don't know if that'll work. But anyhow, we got a little stack of firewood. I got my bag of tumbleweeds. I'm going to show you something over here. Oh, this trip, by the way, was kind of thrown together at the last minute. So I went and bought this firewood. I got 3 more bundles of it in the car. And I bought these kindling sticks because I didn't think me and Daisy was going to have enough time to go round all this up. But I got an indoor-outdoor thermometer, and let me show you something. The top number is the outside temperature. The bottom is the inside. So this is the inside thermometer. Daisy's back here playing with her stick, but I set the the sensor up on top of this tree stump behind us. And it's actually warmer outside, it says, than it is inside. So I'm about to fire up the stove because the sun's going to be going down shortly, and it's going to get even colder one way or the other. While I'm back here, I might as well show you the new stove pipe and the spark arrestor. I didn't use it when I was burning the oil off of the stove, but it conveniently has these little tie down points. So I've got one strung up in the tree, one to the to the right, the other one to the left over there by Daisy, and it's more or less sticking right out of the hole. It ain't perfect, but it don't have to be. All right, let's go inside and get this thing fired up. Okay, so I got some tumbleweeds and a couple of kindling sticks in there. Here goes the old trusty. I'm doing this left-handed, by the way. I can't do nothing left-handed, by the way, just so you know. But okay, there we go. Just so I don't fill the tent up with smoke, I'm gonna put the lid back on it. But we got a fire going now. Oh yeah. You know, I just realized I've set my cot up over here. I got junk all over it right now, but this is gonna pretty much be my view of the stove while I'm laying in my cot. And I went to all the trouble of getting a stove that had windows on it. And yeah, that ain't working out for me very well. Woo, that thing just put out a puff of smoke. What in the world? Let's go look at the stove pipe and see if any of it's coming out of there, because I think it's all coming out in here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's working out real well. Once I get a good roaring fire going and the heat's drawing the smoke out of the pipe, I think we're going to be all right. What you think, Daisy? What you doing over there? I'm playing with fire. Okay, Daisy, so far so good. The smoke has cleared out. We put the wood stove fan on top of it. It is circulating the heat. Oh man, I can feel it right here where I'm at. I want you to take a look. It's only been a few minutes, but it's 42 degrees outside. That's the top number. It's 51 in here already. Just a very little while ago, it was colder in here than it was outside. So that's good. And I had to turn the camp light on because it's getting kind of dark. But I wanted to show you this just for peace of mind for everybody. My carbon monoxide detector. A lot of people at hot tent, or a lot of hot tent videos that I've seen anyway, a lot of people carry those. And I've used it myself in the 450. And we all say the same thing. It's never gone off. But it is reassuring to, you know, just peace of mind just to have. Okay, Daisy, well, while we're letting the tent heat up, and before the sun goes down completely, let's go for a little walk around and see what we can see. You know, we off up on this, actually I think it's Crown Point Road, which we turned off of Pingree Park Road to get to it. I see you got your ball out of the car, didn't you? Yeah, let's go for a walk anyway and go play in this snow down here. Okay, Daisy, we have wound up down here by the creek again. I kind of enjoy the sounds of the bubbling water. I hope we can hear it tonight while we're sleeping. What's up there, Daisy? Kind of got to go up a little hill to see what it is. Oh yeah, it's another part of the creek. There it is, flowing around some rocks. You ain't worried about that creek none, are you? You got your ball to play with. Lord have mercy. Daisy, I want you to look at here. I have done something terribly wrong. I put another log in the stove and smoke all over the place. And listen, you know what that is? That's the carbon monoxide detector. Oh, man. I got to figure out what I did wrong, Daisy. It's a good thing we out here. I'll open up some more windows. I might have to hold my breath and go in and open up the rest of them. Air this thing out. Oh, this is terrible. But it's nice and warm in there, though. I'll say that. Woo, it's airing out now, Daisy. I got that CO2 detector, or the CO detector to shut up finally. But I peeked my head in there long enough just to figure out what in the world did I do wrong. And here, let me brave it again, and I'm gonna show you. And I don't know, oh, the stovepipe come undone. Okay, where's my bucket? I got a bucket here somewhere. Oh, I probably took it out. No, there it is. Woo. Okay, I'm coming back out, Daisy. Woo, this bucket got a couple of things in it that we might need. This is actually the new luggable loo. Oh, look at this one. Well, the lid's gonna come off. I'll show it to you later. But inside, well, a roll of toilet paper. But these handy dandy gloves, just in case I had to touch something hot. And now it look like I'm gonna have to. The stovepipe. Daisy, I had to open up all the windows. I'm letting all our heat out, but I'm also letting that smoke out. So through this one, you can see I got the stovepipe put back in. Boy, am I glad I thought to buy them gloves. Those are like gloves, but they're called something else. But whew, yeah, I was able to get in there and put the stovepipe back together. Now you can see at the bottom, I bolted that thing together. I did not bolt the top one because I thought it was a fairly good fit. Looks like I'm gonna have to do that. That's what I did with my last one, and it didn't give me no problems. Okay, back inside the tent now. I got it aired out. The carbon monoxide detector is happy once again. You know, and I'd made the comment that I'd never heard that thing go off. Well, I heard it today. But I got the stovepipe put back together, so everything's going out the window. You can kind of see where it didn't really burn it, but just because of the smoke and the heat, I guess, was coming just straight out of the elbow instead of through the pipe, it got a little hot. But it's done its job. That's what this welding blanket stuff is supposed to be. That's what I got all along the backside of it, and on the moving blankets on the floor. So that's some good stuff. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bolt that other end together like I did my old stove. But we cooking with grease now. So while I'm in here, I might as well go ahead and try out my new. I only paid like $6 for this thing. I hope it works. It's a temperature gun. You point it at something. Look, there's a red dot, like a laser dot, and it tells you what the temperature is. And it's kind of hanging around at well, I don't know. Can you see it? About 360 degrees, 359, which that's good because the fan. And you're not going to believe this, but I read the instructions. Says if the stove gets more than 650 to remove the fan, it can damage the fan. So 350, we're good. Daisy, where'd you go? Oh man, I don't know if Daisy's liking this tent business or not. You know, my very first hot tent trip didn't go well. She would not stay in the tent. The second one went very well. She stayed in the tent all night long. The third trip was 50-50. she stayed in it half the night. And then, well, I had to get up and go outside to use the bathroom. And then when I come back in, she would not come back in. So she stayed half the night and wouldn't stay the other half. So it's been a tie this whole time. So this is trip number 4 for us in a hot tent. I can't wait to see what she does this time. But, whew, man, I tell you what, that little smoke episode we just had didn't convince her that it's going to go very well. Okay, so I said I was going to show off the new luggable loo. But this one's actually not a luggable loo. It's called Trip Tips. But the thing I like about it, well, I haven't tried it out yet actually, but it's got a little tray. They say you can set your phone in there. It's got a toilet paper holder. You can put a roll of toilet paper there. But the best thing is this. Look at that. It has a padded seat. So I don't have a bag in it yet. You line it with a bag and take care of some business. But it's got a padded seat. And then I bought this poo powder. Supposedly you put one of those inside the bag and has a nice lemony scent and turns everything into a solid, liquids and everything. And I guess when you take the bag out, you ain't got a runny mess on your hands. I can't wait to try this out. You coming in? Look, I got your dog bowl over here. It's about time to eat. You ready to come get something to eat? It's just a little after 5 o'clock, Daisy. Ooh, it gets dark around 5:30. What we gonna do then? I guess we're gonna have to find out, because you ain't crossing that threshold, are you? Maybe I can tempt you with some food. I'm gonna open up a can of dog food. Okay, this is gonna be a good test, because there ain't but one thing Daisy likes to do more than play ball, and that's eat. Come on, Daisy. I got you dinner ready. You gonna come in this tent and eat? Oh yeah. I'm willing to bet as soon as you finish, you're gonna be right back out that door though. It ain't dark yet. I know you scared of the dark though. I can't wait till it does get dark and then see what happens. Okay, so that's my hoodie. I had to pull it off. I want you to take a look at this. It's 40 degrees outside. It's 64 point, is that an 8? 8 or 9, almost 65 degrees in here. That's very comfortable. Very comfortable to me. This is kind of one of the things that I was hoping for with the bigger tent. That it's a much larger space to heat. Oh, wait a minute. Daisy just finished eating. Yeah, she's going back outside. But that don't really mean anything. It ain't dark yet. Dark gonna tell the story. Oh, you coming back in, Daisy? Okay. But anyhow, yeah, this is a much larger space to heat up. So maybe it won't get some cotton picking hot in here. You know, one of my videos, I had that 450 up to straight up 100 degrees inside. That was too hot. I think that might have been one of the reasons why Daisy didn't really care for it too much. It's too hot in here. But 65, that's good. So I've left the front door unzipped a little bit, a little doggy door for Daisy. Got a couple of windows open just to let the daylight in. I got the rest of them closed up though, for the most part, just to kind of retain the heat. And I moved my chair over here next to the stove. I was hoping I could watch the fire. But this window, hold on, let me switch hands. This window is so filled with soot that you can't even see it. You can see a little something from the front because I got the vent open. But, yeah. You know, I had a couple of comments left to me that that glass would kind of self-clean itself, or be easier to clean. I thought I was going to have to get a razor scraper or something. A couple of people kind of suggested that it'll be easier to clean than I think it will be. So I hope that is true, because this is actually very first time I put it to use. I've only did that initial burn in it to get the oil off of the stove, and I can't see the fire already. That's kind of disappointing. But it's putting out some heat, and that fan, that wood stove fan, circulating it, oh man, it feels good up in here. I want you to look at this. Daisy just come walking through her little opening in the door, her doggy door. I like to leave that open for her just in case she wants out. But she just come walking in and lay down on her bed. Oh, life is good. This might work out well after all, Daisy. And since we're talking about working out well, might as well take another look at the thermometer and see. It's still 40 degrees outside, but it's heated up to 70 in here. There's 10% humidity, it says. But 70 degrees, Daisy. This is nice. Okay, it's gotten a lot darker now. There's some of the flame through what little bit I can see of it through the window. Here, let me open the front back up so you can see that. Oh, yeah. It's not quite dark outside yet, but I have turned the light on for Daisy. She's been snacking on some milk bones. But I just looking around in here. Man, how much room we got. This is crazy. This is not like, in fact, I just made a comment. This is not like staying in a tent. This is like sitting in your living room at your house. This is nice. Okay, so I'm shooting this with my headlamp on because it's dark now. That wood stove and the wood stove fan is working great. And this is the moment, yeah, you see, I move my head, the light changes. But this is the moment I've been waiting for. It is 32 degrees outside. That's freezing. It's 80 in here. Oh, man. 80 degrees. Freezing outside. The weather forecast said it was supposed to get down to 14. Of course, we know weather forecasts ain't always right, but the thermometer don't lie. It's freezing outside, and it's a toasty 80 degrees up in here. This is good. So it's about 7 o'clock at night now, and we've brought in a couple of more bundles of firewood from the car, just so we don't have to go outside in freezing temperatures to go get it. Daisy's still curled up in her bed over there. Oh, man, that makes me so happy. But I'm thinking before we actually turn in for the night and go to bed, we're going to try out this. Let me zoom in a little bit. This EnviroLog. I wanted to go to Tractor Supply Company and get some of the redstone, I think they're called, sawdust bricks. And wouldn't you know, they were sold out. Those things are well worth the money. They work great. And I have used these EnviroLogs before. They kind of look like, I think it's recycled cardboard. They kind of look like a fruit cake. But they work pretty good too. So I may throw one of them in before it's time to go to bed and see what happens. Okay, it's a little after 7. Being of the male persuasion, I had to go outside and use the bathroom. I left the door unzipped completely, thinking that Daisy would come out with me. She usually does. Daisy said, I'm staying in here where it's warm. It's cold out there. And she never did come outside. So this is going to be a good night. So I made the comment earlier that the main reason I bought this stove was for the glass windows. I wanted to be able to see the fire. Well, it turns out if you have the vent open on this one, you can see the fire. because I'm not really looking at the sides anyway. So I can still see the fire. My old Nyko Trekker, you couldn't see anything unless you opened the door. So this is still nice, in a way. I might have to figure out a way to turn it sideways and poke the stove pipe out the window. And then I can see it from a side view. But right now, I'm enjoying this. So I'm not going to put the headlamp on this time, but maybe you can make this out. Daisy just got up out of her bed, growling. I think she smelled something outside. and she went to the door, which I had been leaving the doggy door open for her, but I kind of closed it because I thought she was down for the night. But I went and unzipped it again just so she can see what was out there. And she got up and went to the door and growled at it. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't realize changing the zoom changed the lighting. But she got up out of her bed, went to the door, stuck her head out there and barked and growled at something, and waited a few minutes, and then come back and got back in bed. You know what? That's better than bear spray. Whatever it was, she run it off. So now we're just kind of chilling out in the tent. Daisy ran off a booger man or something. And it occurred to me that I'm not really doing anything other than just sitting here tending to the fire and watching the flames. And that is very entertaining to me. I don't watch a lot of TV. I do watch some YouTube channels just to see what other people are doing. But this is real life. We're actually out here doing this. And that's more entertaining to me than any TV show. Daisy. It is snowing again. This is beautiful. You still in your bed asleep? That's beautiful. The wood stove is doing its thing. And the Voda fan, that's beautiful. All right, let me see if I can show this. It's 26 degrees outside now. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta pick it up. But it's 70 in here. 26 and 70. Daisy is in her bed asleep. And it's snowing. I love it. Well, the stove is doing great. The fan is doing great. The stove pipe, not so much. My eyes are burning. I've had to open the windows again. For some reason, it's emitting smoke inside the tent. That elbow that I bought is a 3-inch elbow because I knew this pipe was smaller, and it still doesn't fit. It's too small, and so nothing fits together, and it's blowing smoke all up inside the tent. I got to open the windows. Oh my God, my eyes are burning. Woo! I'm surprised Daisy's still in her bed. But, yeah, we gonna have to figure something out about this. This ain't good. Smoke inside the tent ain't good. even with all this smoke, I will have to say the CO2 detector hasn't gone off yet. The carbon monoxide thing, it did that earlier today. Woo-wee! We got the windows open. We letting out all our heat, but we also letting out all that smoke. This, I don't know. We gonna have to do something different. I really do not understand why this pipe is smoking inside the tent so much. Woo! I've had to open the windows again. It's 26 degrees outside now. It's only 63 in here because I'm having to ventilate the space so much. I did buy some heat-resistant tape. Whoa, my God! Look at that. I closed the vent. I don't know what's going on. Something is happening. Maybe I need to go see if I can put some of that tape on it. Well, the foil tape has seemed to work so far. Wait, let me adjust my headlamp. Yeah, one of the problems was the bolt that I screwed through it. Woo! It was getting smoky up in here. I don't know why it did that. And let me show you something. It's 25 degrees outside now. It's well below freezing. It's cooled off to 62 inside the tent because I had to open up the windows. But surprisingly, Daisy slept through the whole thing. So at least my eyes ain't burning anymore. That foil tape I put around the stovepipe seems to be working, but I don't know. Now I still see some smoke. It might be burning the glue off of it. I'm trying to move the phone out of the way, but as you can see, I had to take the battery out of the carbon monoxide detector. Oh my God, that thing started going off again because of this stove. Not necessarily the stove, but the pipe configuration. I'm pretty sure it's still filling up the tent with smoke. Woo! Me and Daisy over here trying to chillax. And then this thing started beeping again. So I had to open up another window, try to ventilate the thing. The stove itself is good. I'm not going to say nothing bad about them. But the size of the pipe is not working for me. Anybody want to buy a good used stove? Everything's working out very well now. The wood stove, the foil tape, the stove pipe. However, you know, every trip I go on, there's always a few hiccups. But the highlight of the whole trip is this. Daisy is sleeping inside the tent and snoring. That is the highlight of the trip for me. I'm so happy that she's happy. It's almost 11 o'clock at night now, and I've been having to babysit this thing all night long. No sleep whatsoever. And I want you to look at this. The whole stovepipe thing is just not working out for me. And it's still blowing smoke up in the top of the tent. I've had to open the window again. My eyes are burning. The CO2 detector has not gone off yet. But this is not
working out very well for me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, the stove itself is fantastic. Let me show you something. It says it's 26 degrees outside now. It's only 63 in here because I've had to keep opening the windows to let the smoke out. The stovepipe configuration is my biggest problem. And oh my gosh, I mean, if you look at it, you can still see this is just rising up inside the tent. It's not even going out the stove pipe like it's supposed to. I've had to open the window. At least the CO2 detector hadn't went off again yet. It probably will before the night's over with. I'm not going to put no more fire in this stove. No more logs in this stove. I'm just going to let it die out and go sleep in the car if I have to, if I get too cold. But this ain't working. This is not working out very well at all. The tent itself, oh my God, the Eskimo 850 is incredible. But the stove, and not necessarily the stove, but the stove pipe is this ain't working for me. Daisy, I really hate to do this again. And I've wrapped this pipe with extra foil tape, heat tape, whatever you want to call it. It keeps leaking. Smoking us out. My eyes are burning. You still in your bed? Well, we ain't gonna be for long. Look, it's 27 degrees outside. It's 58 degrees in here now. It's getting cold to me. And the reason it's getting cold is because we have to keep opening the windows to let the smoke out. Yeah, I'm gonna call this a flop. This won't be the first time. It won't be the first time we've had to do this. Let's go sleep in the car. Daisy, we in the car. Woo, we got the car running. I don't know what does it say. It's 11:30 at night. The car thinks it's 28 degrees outside. Let's see what this says. Yeah, it says it's 27. It was 63. No, it's 63 in the car now. Because we finally got some heat. That stovepipe wasn't working out for us at all. I'm going to go check on it every now and then. But you know what? This won't be the first time we've done it. We might have to just sleep in the car. Daisy, dang all the bad luck. The Jackery is doing its thing, is powering up the coffee pot, but I can't get the thing to it just keeps cycling through all the buttons. Oh man, I wanted a cup of coffee so bad. Don't look like I'm gonna get one. Well, good morning everyone. It's day 2 of this shakedown cruise of the 850. Woo, I'm starting to pack up. Got most everything out. Still got to get the wood stove and the blankets out, and then my moving blankets. Daisy and I had a wonderful night in the car, but I'm going to show you something I think might have been a contributing factor to my problem last night. The spark arrestor is all, well, I mean, it does still have holes in it, but it's all clogged up with creosote, I guess, or something. So that was restricting the smoke flow.
You ain't gonna be able to see what I'm talking about because it's underneath all this tape. Something I did not explain very well last night. I kept saying that the pipes didn't fit together. Well, the pipe that comes with the stove is I don't know, it's like 2 3/4 inch diameter. The smallest elbow that I could get was 3 inch. So there's a 1/4 inch gap between the elbow and the pipe. Now, silly me, I thought, hot air rises. Hopefully the smoke would too, and it would just go right on out the vent. But as you saw, it did not. Well, now we know because the spark arrestor on the end of the vent is somewhat clogged up. It had to go somewhere, and it decided to come in here with us. Well, except for Daisy's ball. Right there. Everything is packed up. Everything's in the car. Woo-wee! That tent came down just about as easy as it went up. I don't think I mentioned when I put it up, I popped the sides out first, and then once the sides were all popped out, then I just went inside and pushed the roof up, or both roofs up rather, and that's all it took. So when I took it down, I did it just the opposite way. I brought the roofs down first, popped in all the sides, folded it up, and away it went. Oh, Daisy seen her a squirrel. You get them squirrels, Daisy? No, but she's still on their trail. So we're back down here at the creek. Daisy probably gonna get her little drink of water. Maybe. Maybe not. She's still after them squirrels. But this is very reminiscent of our very first hot tent trip. We had almost identical problem. The tent itself was great. The stove itself was great. The stove pipe gave me a world of trouble. And this one was no different. I got to figure out what to do about this stove pipe. Okay, Daisy. There's your other ball. The other one's still where the tent was. Okay, I guess this is going to wrap everything up. The weather forecast turned out to be exactly right. Woke up this morning, it was 14 degrees. They said the low was going to be 14. They hit that right on the money. So now that everything is packed up, well, I got to grab that ball, but we about to get out of here. Woo, because it's still freezing. Come on, Daisy, let's go. Okay, Daisy. Well, we're getting on up out of here. But I'm convinced that if that stovepipe had not given us the troubles it did, you would have stayed in that tent all night long. You seem to be enjoying that. Woohoo! I get this stovepipe figured out. We're gonna spend the night in it again.